What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. I got one in from Tuya, and it's been a little while, I think, since we've gotten to check out a Tuya. The last one might have been the Shocker. Not 100% sure on that, but we got one in, so let's take a look at it. All right, guys, this is the Tuya Wolf, and man, oh man, is it an interesting design. I did notice that it has backed out of center, so I figured I'd fix that on camera, but it has these butterscotch polished micarta scales on top of titanium liners with a titanium backspacer, steel lock bar insert. You got thumb studs for deployment. Tuya, you really got to get these pocket clips in a little bit of a better spot. You can't prioritize these body screws over your pocket clips. Get that sucker up to the top, please. But these scales, they're very beautiful. It is out of center. I'm going to address that a little bit later in the video before we get to thoughts and impressions, but it is a really well constructed knife. I don't know if the centering is part of the reason, but it has a very, very stout detent, full size knife, very chunky in hand. Pocket clip, because it is a little too low, is digging in a little bit on me here. I did notice while I was cutting with that it was poking. It is chamfered well, but it's just in a bad spot where I just feel like it's there kind of poking into me. I wouldn't call this a dedicated forward choil. It just feels like a sharpening choil to me. If you're going to choke up, I'd probably choke up on the landing pad. And that's kind of where I was with this. It's got a subtle recurve. So when it was slicing through the paper, it was fine. You know, you just got to kind of hit on this side where the recurve dips down, not catch it as it's going up, because then it plays with the paper. It absolutely moved through the cardboard with no issues, kind of had it at a little bit of an angle back, and it moved through that material just fine. Pinch grip was nice. I did a test on both the actual Tonto tip and then the actual tip out on the edge, where you do have kind of like this Persian style sweep, and it worked good. Not my ideal blade grind or blade shape when you talk about the Persian. I don't mind the Tonto. I just don't like the recurve on that for me personally. You have good access to the lock bar. It is a shaker, not a guillotine. Man, that detent is really tuned. I'm going to see here in a minute if I can try to address that. I don't know, maybe if someone took it apart and then when they put it back together, they just didn't do any adjustments down here on this end. We'll check that here in a minute. I like the thumb studs on it. Nice step to the thumb studs. Ooh, my goodness, that is a very stout detent. The pocket clip, it's okay. Let me demonstrate here really quick with the old Hank. So regular pair of jeans, when it's folded in half, kind of bunches up a little bit, a little tight there. Would have liked to see a little bit of a better pocket clip. And then if you have some thinner summer shorts, it would be kind of the same thing, although it does go in a little bit easier. A lot of knife left out of the pocket as well. So again, Tuya, I'd like to see that up a little bit. Not quite a tapper just yet, but I think if you could release a little bit of the tension, you might see a little bit of a better interaction with like your regular blue jeans. Now, it's still really tight. Look at how it bunches up. I don't know what's going on with these companies lately and these pocket clips, guys. They are just really, really dropping the ball with these pocket clips. I am telling you. All right, here we have the Wolf up against the Manix 2 lightweight and the McNeese 3.5 inch. And as you can see, the Wolf is definitely a full-size knife. Let's do a couple more and then we'll weigh this one. All right, here is the Wolf against the Hyphen XL and my Mini Nova from Vero Engineering. And again, you can see this is definitely more full-size. To be sure, I don't know why my Mini Nova doesn't want to sit up properly for you guys, but I think you get the gist. Let's check the weight on this one. I am very curious about that. All right, got the scale out and on, and the Wolf coming in at 4.3 ounces. So considering that, you might as well look at this almost like a bolstered frame lock, because it does have scales laying on top of titanium. That's not that bad of a weight. I actually expected this to be closer to 5 ounces, so that is pretty impressive. Let's get the scale out of here and we'll go ahead and wrap it up. All right, final thoughts and impression on the wolves. Going to be graded on a scale of 1 to 10. 1's the lowest, 10's the highest. I do reserve anything that has premium offerings on here, like this M390 blade and the titanium with the steel lock bar insert that is on the actual inside of the frame here. It is hollowed out titanium on the inside, which is a reason I think that they're able to get that weight down so low. But my point being, it is premium materials. What I take into account is ergos, aesthetics, price point, and value for money, along with the build quality on this. Ergos on this one are okay. It's a little sharp here on the corners for me when I do hold it in a natural position. I like the aggressive jimping. I like the aggressive thumb studs. Not too happy about this one being out of center, but it is a pass around, so I'm going to give it a pass on that because usually I find that Tuyas do come pretty well centered. I think right there would be about as close as you could get it to being centered. I don't know what else you could do to maybe fix this one. Let's see here. We need to, yeah, I don't know that you'd be able to fix that. Like the thumb studs, D10 is dialed a little too strongly for me, which is really saying something. I'd like to take this one apart if it was mine and try to loosen that lock bar strength up a little bit. I'd like to have the pocket clip moved up. I do really like the aesthetics of that butterscotch micarta. That is really nice, guys. I don't like a recurve, so that is personal preference. And I don't really like how this it is a trailing point. I know I said Persian earlier, but it's more like a trailing point. That doesn't bother me too much. If this was like a regular Tonto, I'd probably give it some points back on that. But considering all of that, I'm kind of at a 5.8 on this one. I think it's just more or less that it's not really vibing with me. I feel like it's built pretty well outside of the centering issue and a little bit of a hot spot here, and then the pocket clip being too low. I think those are really my takeaway for the deductions on the points. But let me know what you think about the Tuya Wolf. I would love to hear that down in the comments below. Do you agree with my score, or do you think I was a little too harsh on it? I do love that butterscotch micarta. It is really pretty. Affiliate links down in the description below. When you use them, it helps the channel, so thank you. A special thank you to my channel members out there. Your support goes a long way in helping this channel, and I really appreciate that. I'm out of here. I hope you have a great week. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.